Hey guys, it's Benny at Lucas TV Toys, and today my dad here wants to talk about Star Wars: The Last Jedi and Rey. So what do you have to say about this movie and Rey?
Well, I've seen a lot of talk on the internet and other YouTube channels about Rey being called out Mary Sue, and I thought it interesting that that it was not mentioned, at least that I heard, after The Force Awakens, and I was just gonna take a minute or two to define what that means, unless for some reason you tell me you know what it means. Do you know what a Mary Sue is?
No, I don't really do.
Okay, I didn't think so. So I'm going to tell, in case anyone in the audience doesn't know either, this is how a Mary Sue is defined. It originates from Star Trek, the early episodes, where the character was actually named Mary Sue. And then since then, young female characters that played a prominent role in a film or episode of TV would be termed a Mary Sue because they had these kind of characteristics. They were crucial to the movie or the success of the episode, but they showed skills in all kinds of areas that were very valuable, but without a backstory or any apparent training in those areas. So they would suddenly, solve the mystery, be smarter than everyone else, or they would fly the ship in such a way that without ever being trained as a pilot, they would save the day, so to speak, and do all kinds of things in order to get the audience to really become very quickly, in a short period of time, very attracted to this person, because they're young, good looking, and they save the day, and they save the crew, and they save everyone else. So it originates from Star Trek and really kind of pinpoints a lead female character that doesn't seem to have any backstory or skill in the areas in which all of a sudden she's the best at. Now, does that describe Rey from Star Wars to you?
For me, yeah, I think it does describe Rey, because in The Force Awakens, she didn't really, in the beginning of it, she didn't even know how to use the Force, but then in Starkiller Base, she learned how to play a mind trick on the Force Order Stormtrooper without any training. And then, while Finn was battling Kylo Ren, he lost, and when Kylo Ren was trying to get the lightsaber, he was already trained, but Rey wasn't, and then got the lightsaber. And they get stronger in the Force than a trained apprentice from Snoke, which kind of sounds kind of weird.
Yeah.
And then in The Last Jedi, which is the latest movie, she just had like a few hours training with Luke Skywalker, and then she went and saved the day for everyone.
With the rocks.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and rocks. She lifted rocks and
it's funny, on that topic, someone pointed out that there was a jab. Luke Skywalker, talking about the Force to her, made it kind of a joke that some people viewed as disrespectful to Star Wars lore, which was, in Empire Strikes Back, he's training with Yoda, he lifted rocks using the Force. And then he mentioned to Rey that the Force isn't about lifting rocks, or something to that.
But then I noticed later in the movie she saved the day lifting rocks.
Yes, and that's the point most people forget to remember, that in fact it comes back to the climax of her saving that little band of rebels that are left, by in fact lifting a bunch of rocks.
Right when she lifted a bunch of rocks, I was like, Luke said that was useless.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that. So they continue to disrespect Luke's character by having no depth and everything that's wrong with the way they portrayed him, but they certainly portrayed Rey as this great, as if she had been a master Jedi as old as Yoda. I mean, the wisdom and the calm and the way she carried herself throughout the movie without apparently any real backstory or training, and not even having, as we learned, a family heritage that was in the Skywalker line or Obi-Wan Kenobi line or something like that. She just, out of nowhere, had all these Force skills that she seemed to learn how to use and control without any training, or almost no training. So I'd say that
you got training.
Luke certainly got a lot of training, and he had the bloodline where the Force is strong in his family and everything. and look at that. And of course, Princess Leia, really, that the whole, I don't know what that Mary Poppins thing was about. That was just totally goofball. But
yeah, she was flying in space.
But leading up to that, she had really never shown to the audience any real force powers that they speak of. I don't even think in the books there was much to speak of in that term.
Well, she sensed something.
She sensed things through the force about people, and that's true. So anyway, to wrap this up about a Mary Sue, hopefully now you understand what a Mary Sue is, where it originates from, being Star Trek, and I want to also add this. I know that in many times there have been authors and writers, even female writers, that have been maybe reluctant to add strong female characters because they don't want people to do exactly this, say that character is a Mary Sue. And so that term, which is derogatory, could be totally out of context in terms of just being negative towards female characters, and I totally disagree with that. There should be strong male characters and strong female characters, and they shouldn't be termed anything that's negative because they're just a female character. And so I have no issue, even if some people do, with Rey being a lead character in Star Wars. I think it's great. I think this needs more of that. They like a balance in the Force. Well, they should have a balance in the genders in terms of the good guys and bad guys on both sides. And but in this case, I would actually say that in fact it does apply. That Rey is the typical Mary Sue as it was originated to be. Just the kind of character it's supposed to describe. So that's it. That's what I wanted to talk about today, and we'll certainly come back if we have other commentary about The Last Jedi, and I'm sure we will. So stay tuned, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for all these things about Star Wars, but mostly about all the toys, because Lucas TV Toys is all about toys.
Especially Star Wars toys. Put them together now with Star Wars toys. We love Star Wars and toys. Because if you like toys, then you're like me. And if you're like me, then you love toys. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hey guys, here are some of my other videos. And I know you're gonna love them. So go ahead and watch them.